On the third day of the 14th General Convention of Nepali Congress, a clearer picture has come to the surface regarding the internal dynamics of the oldest party of the country. All eyes now eagerly await the final list of candidates which will be published later today, leading to the election process. Good morning, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. 6 contestants in the fray for the NC top post of party president. Election fervour reached a climax on the third day of the 14th NC General Convention. Alliance equation turned topsy-turvy. Some 550 candidates filed their nominations for the available 134 positions. The final nomination list to be published later today. Voting and counting of votes poised to be lengthy. The death toll in the several central U.S. states hit by tornado climbs to 80. Biden releases federal emergency disaster fund for the worst affected state of Kentucky. And Manchester City remains at the top of Premier League with 1-0 win over Wolves. Liverpool, Manchester United also register identical wins. Chelsea saved by last-minute penalty. It's the third day of the ongoing 14th General Convention of Nepali Congress. The election fervour has reached a high in Nepali Congress with the filing of the nominations yesterday. The General Convention has been pushed back by almost 2 years, will elect 134 out of 168 Central Committee members, including 14 office bearers. The elected leadership will appoint the remaining Central Committee members and a treasurer of the party. 6 contestants have filed their candidacy for the party president of the Nepali Congress. Incumbent party chief Sher Bahadur Deuba and leaders Shekhar Koirala, Prakashman Singh, Bimalendra Nidhi, Kalyan Gurung and Yuvraj Neopane have registered their name for the top post. Meanwhile, 7 candidates are vying for 2 seats of vice president and 6 for 2 posts of general secretary. 29 leaders have filed nominations for 8 seats of Joint General Secretary. Incumbent President Deuba formed a panel of all office bearers and Central Committee members to register his nomination. Purna Bahadur Khadka and Bijay Kumar Gakshadar are on the race for the post of Vice President, while Prakash Sharan Mahat and Pradeep Paudel have registered for General Secretary. It may be recalled that Deuba and former General Secretary Krishna Prasad Sitaula have formed an alliance for the election. Likewise, Chandra Bhandari and Dhan Bahadur Gurung have filed their nomination for Vice President, while Gagan Thapa and Minendra Rijal are contenders for General Secretary from the Shekhar Koirala panel. Sujata Koirala, meanwhile, registered for Vice President and Bishwa Prakash Sharma for General Secretary from the Singh panel, while Divyashwar Shah and Rajaram Karki filed their names for Vice President and General Secretary from the Nidhi faction. Gurung and Neopane have filed their nomination as a single candidate each for the party president. Senior leader Ramchandra Paudel and Krishna Prasad Sitaula, meanwhile, did not stand for any post, while leader Mahesh Acharya registered an independent candidate for vice president. The intra-party dynamics formed in the previous 13th General Convention of the ruling Nepali Congress has been shattered due to the number of aspirants competing for the various positions of the new leadership. The previous 2 factions of Nepali Congress have split into several groups following the candidacy of 6 aspirants for the party's top post. Incumbent party president Sher Bahadur Deuba formed an alliance with former General Secretary Krishna Prasad Sitaula and offered 2 posts of the General Secretary and Joint Secretary to the Sitaula faction to make his panel strong. While picking Prakash Sharan Mahat as a candidate for the post of General Secretary from the leadership faction, office bearer aspirants Balkrishna Khand, Gyanendra Bahadur Karki and NP Saud have been excluded from the team. The previous disgruntled faction led by senior leader Ramchandra Paudel, however, has split as the faction failed to pick a common candidate for presidency. Eventually, senior leader Paudel decided to stay away from the race of both leadership and Central Committee membership, while leaders Prakashman Singh and Shekhar Koirala from the faction registered their name for the top post. The prominent members of the Koirala family have been divided in the current race. Leader Sujata Koirala, who had previously announced of her retirement from politics, joined the panel of Prakashman Singh for Vice President, leaving Shekhar Koirala-led faction. Meanwhile, Singh welcomed Bishwa Prakash Sharma for the candidacy of General Secretary. Leaders Chandra Bhandari and Dhanraj Gurung are vying for Vice President from the Koirala panel, while Mahesh Acharya registered for the same post as an independent candidate. Leaders Minendra Rijal and Gagan Thapa are also competing from the Koirala panel for the post of General Secretary, while incumbent General Secretary Shashank Koirala has limited himself in Central Committee nomination. Leader Bimalendra Nidhi, after parting ways with leadership faction, is also in the race for the party top post. The ongoing 14th General Convention of the ruling Nepali Congress will elect 134-member Central Committee, including office bearers. However, the party is following old and lengthy election process. The party election committee is preparing to hold the election from 8 in the morning till 8 in the evening on Monday. There are 4,770 eligible voters, and each voter has to vote in 29 ballot papers, which according to the election might take an hour maximum. The committee has fixed 3 voting centers. 1,300 voters will cast their vote in City Hall, while remaining 3,400 voters will vote at 2 booths in Prikuti Mandap. 500 voters can cast their votes, with 1,000 voters entering the voting center at one time. The committee has informed that it will take 20 minutes to count 1 ballot paper and added that it will publish the result of office bearers within 3 days of voting, while the final result will be published by 25th of this month. It may be recalled that main opposition CPN-UML had used a digital voting machine for the election in its general convention. However, the ruling party is using ballot papers to elect its new leadership. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in all the provinces what should be done for the hassle-free marketing of agriculture commodities. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
खेतबाट होस् जुन उत्पादन भएको छ हैन त्यो ल्याउन सहज होस् के बेच्नलाई
सम्बन्धित निकायले तपाईको यसको मूल्य निर्धारण गर्नु पर्यो
किसानले उत्पादन गरेको चीज चाहिँ बजारमा लगेर चाहिँ आफै बिक्री चाहिँ गर्न सक्नु वातावरण चाहिँ हुनु पर्यो
दुवारी गाडी किन्नको लागि सरकारी कर्जाको व्यवस्था हुनु पर्यो
बाहिरको नास जस्तो हाम्रो लोकल जग्गाहरु काठमाडौँ पोखरा नागहाड यस्तोमा जाओस्
बेचबिखन आफूले आफ्नो दोकान भए राम्रो हुन्थ्यो
मेन दुःख गर्ने कृषकलाई चाहिँ उनीहरुको आफ्नो परिश्रमको मोल दिने सरकारले एउटा नीति ल्याउनु पर्छ
Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. Here's the question: what should be done to minimize negative impacts seen in glaciers due to climate change? Your options are A. Environment conservation, B. Encourage use of clean energy, and C. Decrease carbon emission. The voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good day.